Far from Perfect by Carla Blaschka. The story this poem actually tells happens in the present tense. And it was tense all right. Robbie was near yelling at Jack near the potluck table. "This is how I remember you," and made a move to close the distance with a closed fist. Someone slapped him on the back as the family's old paper girl, Angela, took his hand. A friend of Jack's from his elementary school days drew him away, and we all breathed a sigh of relief. I figured there'd be fireworks when those two met again, but I had hoped 10 years would have calmed the blaze. I was no dog's bone to be fought over, and never felt either of those two had a claim on me. The jerks. I also wasn't appreciating the sly looks I was getting at our church's education night. Every Wednesday they offered different classes for different age groups with a potluck after. There was babysitting as well, so it was a chance for the whole family to get a little smarter about the faith they said they believed in. Christianity claims that the God who is manifest in Jesus the Christ is the true God, and we are to be like Christ. Given the lack of love present in the world and the anger over the new chance all people had to declare their love in public, it didn't say much for the success of our evangelization, but our church did its best. The two men stayed in separate corners the remainder of the evening. Neither approached me. They knew better. I was on cleanup and put the chairs back in the closet. I said goodbye to Sam as he left, and I secured the last garbage bag. The bins were out back, and as I was about to throw it in, my eye was caught by a lump at the side. The light in that corner was poor, so I stepped closer. Another one. Good God in heaven! Mrs. Burns was right, though I hated to admit it, and I certainly wasn't going to celebrate my corpse luck. A haiku. Murdered, another corpse, found on the ground, not a sound, his head bent and warped. His face was in shadow, but the jacket told me it was Jack, my former boyfriend. I tried to find a pulse on his wrist, but no one could be alive with a head wound like that. I stayed there, crouched for some time. I couldn't tell how long. When there was nothing left in my head but grief and horror, I stood up and went to find a phone. His killer wasn't Robbie, though someone had tried hard to implicate him. Turned out to be a former employee who didn't think the church would have security cameras and was quite indignant about their distrust of their fellow man. Robbie left town again. He never even said goodbye. They had been best friends, Robbie and Jack, until I'd come along. I met Robbie first, went out with him first, but Jack wooed me and won. Because of it, Robbie left us, left his family, left the town where he grew up, and when he was gone, Jack dumped me. It was just a game to him, a competition. I knew about the cameras at the church, but that corner behind the garbage bins had no coverage, so no one saw me when I hit him again with the crowbar, my hand protected by the plastic bag. I'm sure that first blow would have killed him anyway. His small moan for help useless. I didn't feel guilty about it. He just wasn't quite dead enough for me. Thank you.